Good morning, friends. So today you're going to need 2 blocks and a strap, and we're going to start our practice in a comfortable seat. So I like to take a block so that, especially at the beginning of the practice and especially if it's in the morning, your hips can be raised and your knees are lower than your hips or maybe equal to your hips. Sometimes when we're quite new to yoga, our knees are up here, and that's okay. It takes a while for your hips to open, and especially if it's early in the morning. And also bringing one heel in front of the other just allows that spaciousness in the hips for the knees to relax down. Good. All right, so once you find yourself comfortable here, have your strap nearby and just allow yourself to bring your shoulders up to your ears and then all the way back and down so that your spine is nice and long without being too stiff. All right, and then bring your hands onto your knees just with your palms facing up so that you're welcoming the day ahead. And let your eyes gently close, or you can have a soft gaze just along the tip of your nose, having really sort of not focusing on anything. So your choice. Just give yourself a few moments to pause, collect yourself, and breathe before we start to move into the day and into the practice. Yeah, so just scan through your body, see how it feels this morning. Have you woken up with any stiffness or tension anywhere? Or if you're doing this later in the day, how are you feeling? Just checking in, north, south, east, west, front to back, inside and outside. And then begin to pay attention to your breath, breathing in and out through the nose if you can. Maybe taking a light Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi, victorious breath, simply means light constriction at the base of your throat. So you make this audible sound, but your lips are closed. So it's and it may be only audible to you, may not be too loud. If it's too much for you to focus on that, just focus on the breath moving in and out of your body. And then start to deepen the breath. So as you breathe in, you feel that your ribs can expand to the side and that your navel can push outwards as your diaphragm expands down. And then when you breathe out, you feel the navel fall back in and the ribs come towards center. Doing this a few more times, conscious breath, inhaling, ribs expand to the side, belly rises, really fill up the whole lung. And exhale, empty everything out. Good, breathing in fully. Softening the shoulders, relaxing the jaw and exhaling. Good, take 2 more, inhale. Really nice, big, wide, deep breath. And exhale, soften the shoulders. And then 1 more, breathing in fully. And exhale completely. Good. And then opening your eyes. All right. Lean back onto your hands and just change the crossing of your legs. If you're on a block, you might want to take it away, and from underneath you, you might want to stay up. Make your decision, it's up to you. And then bring your strap and have it wide enough so that you can lift it up above and then behind you. So take the strap, you might want to widen it or you might want to shorten it. So come and join me, sitting on your sit bones, lengthening the spine. Inhale, bring the strap up. Exhale, keeping the arms straight. Everything's coming from the shoulders. Inhale all the way up and exhale, coming down. Have a light lift in your belly as you do this. Bring the strap up, breathe in. Exhale, bring the strap as low as you can. Good, taking it a few more times. You can go a bit faster than me if you like, but try and move with your breath. Have that conscious awareness. So just flossing into the shoulders here, getting a bit of mobility. I know for me, my shoulders, especially my left one, tends to stiffen up. So it's really nice to get some sort of mobility in it before I start to move in other ways. I'm going to take a few more in each direction. Yeah, that should feel quite nice. Lovely. Good. One more. Hold it back there. Just open up the chest a little bit more and pull the arms away from each other. Maybe look up to the ceiling. Notice what happens in your low back. If it's hurting when you do that, just simply bring your gaze back to center. Don't take so much of a back bend. And then bring the strap up and reach that left hand down. I'm not mirroring you, so I'll look like I'm going to the opposite direction. And the right arm up. Good. And then change direction. Bring your right hand down and your left arm up. You might even touch the ground with that right hand. One more time each way. Left arm down, right arm up. Good. And then the opposite way. So this is just a short 30-minute practice. We're going to get into the shoulders, the hips, the hip flexors, and then bring the strap down and release the strap. All right. Bring your left hand to the side of you and reach your right arm up and over. Really stretch that arm, the fingertips reaching up to the ceiling. Good. Pressing the left hand down. Maybe you need a block to bring the ground up to you, that's fine too. And then turn and look underneath that right armpit. See if you can ground through the right hip a little bit more. So if you notice that hip lifting, just ground it a bit more. Turn and look up. Breathe in and then exhale. Reach that right arm towards the left and then let both hands come all as far forward as you can, all the way over to the right. Ground through the right hand and reach the left arm up and over. So doing the same thing on the other side. So get that lift through the fingertips. Good. Ground through the left hip and then turn and look up towards the ceiling. See how that feels. Take another breath in, lengthen even more. And exhale. Reach forwards towards the right side with the left hand and then both hands crawl in front of you all the way up to the other side. Then taking a twist, right hand on left knee, left hand behind, lengthen through the spine and twist from your thoracic spine. Just taking a moment to move the spine in all the different directions. And over to the other side, taking that twist in the other way. Good. And then bring your hands in front of you. Press the palms away. Really energize and round through the upper back, middle back. Look between your arms towards your belly. And then reach the palms up. Looking up to your hands. And then again, so seated cat and cows, coming into this cat shape, rounding the spine. Breathe in, bring the palms up, stretch up, feel the fronts of the palms, feel how the hands and the wrists feel. Exhale, round. Good, then release the hands, bring the hands forwards to the front of the mat and come into a tabletop. Make sure you put your blocks at the front of the mat. You might need your strap a bit later on. And let's just take those traditional cat and cows, warming into the spine a bit more. So knees under hips and hands under shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide. Start with your cow, breathing in, bringing the tailbone up. Lengthen through the front of the body, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other at the back and look up. And then exhale, round the back. So try and lengthen the breath. Create lots of space in the spine here. And two more. Breathing in, finding that cow. And then exhale, rounding and rounding, even more space, protracting through the upper back, the shoulder blades spread apart. One more. Inhaling, lengthen the front of the body. Good, and exhaling, rounding and rounding. Good, come back to that central point. Make sure your hands are planted firmly, fingers spread wide. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up to the sky. So first, downward facing dog. Bend one knee, bend the other. Walk your dog a few times, ease into the hamstrings if you feel that it needs it. Notice how your hands feel. Remember, if you have wrist issues, you can always bring blocks underneath your hands. That just takes the sort of pressure off a little bit by holding onto those blocks. But make sure they're steady and they're not slipping. When you're ready, find your downward facing dog. Good, and from here, come forwards into a plank. So maybe walking your feet back, hug the low belly in, Then bring your knees down, elbows hug into the sides of your waist, lower all the way down. Good. Keep your hands underneath your shoulders and relax your feet so that the shoelace part of the feet is on the mat. Come up to a cobra. Squeeze the back of the shoulder blades. Look forwards. Press the top of the feet down, maybe so much that you're energizing through your quads, your knees lift. And lower down. Good. Pause for a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then bring yourself up to a cobra again. And this time, if you can, bend your knees. Bring your soles of your feet together, or the outside and inside edges of the feet together. And then lower down. Bring your knees a little bit wider. Keep the feet together. One more cobra. So this is called a swan. Inhale, come up. I learned this from a wonderful colleague called Sandra. Thank you, Sandra, if you do happen to watch this. And exhale, lower down. Release the feet down. Press back into a child's pose. Remember, you can always take a rest in child's pose if you need to. Take a breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Next breath in, come forwards into tabletop. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. And from here, you're going to just simply walk your feet until they're behind your hands, arriving at the top of your mat into Uttanasana, forward fold, holding onto opposite elbows, swaying left and right, left and right. You can bend your knees as much as you need to so that your back feels nice and supported, your belly is on your thighs. Have that soft gaze, so try not to be distracted. The soft gaze just sort of beyond your nose, and keep your breath smooth and steady. Maybe doing that Ujjayi breath if you're working with it. And then find a center point and release your hands towards the mat. Maybe blocks, bringing the mat up towards you. Take a breath, come up halfway. Arms can reach back, palms down, shoulder blades towards each other. If you like this version, this just gives you a nice right angle, strengthening the back body. Exhale, fold forwards. We'll do that one more time, different variation. Inhale halfway, hands slide up towards the knees. Still the same shape in your body though. Draw the shoulder blades back. And then fold forwards. And then the next breath, come up halfway. Keep that strength in your back. Bend the knees, reach the arms up. Find chair pose. Nice. If your shoulders bother you, bring your hands to your heart and prayer. Breathe in here. Oh, yes. Hello, thighs. And fold forwards. Uttanasana. Do that 2 more times. Bend the knees. Reach the arms up. So strong back, shoulder blades pulled down. And fold forwards. Exhale. 1 more. Bend the knees. Reach the arms up. Holding it here now for 3. Well done. 2. And 1. Come all the way up to standing. Reach the arms up, palms together, Urdhva Hastasana. Just lengthen here. Try and reach the tailbone down towards your heels and reach the fingertips up. And then, if you like, reach up, facing the chest up to the ceiling, hands back, looking back towards the hands if your neck feels okay. Pelvis forwards, tailbone lengthened. And come back to center, hands to your heart. Okay. Bring your hands by your side, finding mountain pose. And we're going to move through a couple of sun salutations, and then we're going to go onto a float and then come down. All right. So, starting in mountain pose, feet can be mat width apart, or if you prefer, toes touching heels apart. Roll the shoulders back and down. Lightly engage through the core. This is called Urianabanda. So it's just light lift of the belly in and up. Good. Take a breath first. Breathing in, let's breathe steady and smooth. And breathe out. Let's move. Inhale, the arms stretch up. Look up if you like. Take up space, the arms reach out to the side, folds forwards, Uttanasana. And look between the knees. Breathe in, halfway lift, your choice of variation of arms. Exhale, hands down, right foot back, right knee down. Good, inhale, the arms sweep up. Sun salutation C today. Exhale, hands down, step back to a plank. Breathe in your plank. Remember, you can bring knees down straight away. And then bring your knees down and lower all the way down. Inhale, coming into a cobra. Squeeze the back of the shoulders, blades towards each other. Exhale, lower down. Good, one more, this time a swan. Knees a little bit more wide, feet together. Inhale, come up into a swan. Maybe look up. Exhale, lower down. Press back into a child's pose, knees stay wide. Good, and then downward facing dog. All right, one breath here, inhaling. And exhale. Good, right leg reaches up to the sky. And then come forwards with your hips a little bit, bend the knee, right foot between your hands. So if you prefer, come down onto the knees, right foot forwards. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, both hands to the top of the mat, step the back foot forwards, fold. Breathe in, halfway lift, different variation this time if you like. Exhale, fold. Press through the feet, take up space with the arms, shoulders mobilizing, and hands to your heart. Starting with the left side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Uttanasana. Breathe in, halfway lift. And exhale, hands down, left foot back, left knee down. Good, inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, both hands down, step back to a plank. Breathe in your plank. Remember, knees can come down if you need to, straight away. And then exhaling, knees come down, elbows held close to the waist, come all the way down. Relax the feet, cobra. Inhale, come up to that cobra, pubic bone pressing into the mat. Exhale, lower down. Good, bring the knees wider, feet together, bend the knees. Inhale, come up to that swan. Nice. And then exhale, lower down, press back to a child's pose. Come back to center and downward facing dog. One full breath here in down dog. Breathing in. Maybe open your mouth, sigh out. Let go. Reach the left leg up. And exhale, look forwards. So you need to come forwards with your hips if you are coming from down dog. Step the left foot forwards, right knee down. Remember, you can bring your knees down first. Inhale, the arms reach up, low lunge, Untitled. Lengthen here. Exhale, both hands to the top of the mat, back foot forwards, fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And breathe out to fold. Come all the way up to standing, take up space with the arms, palms touch. And hands to your heart. We're going to move through a gentle flow now, all right? Taking some warriors. So inhale, reach the arms up. Let's start with a chair pose. Legs are zipped up, so if your legs aren't together, bring them together. Ankles touching, inner thighs and knees touching. Sit down into that chair pose. Reach the arms up if your shoulders are okay. Sit down a little bit lower. Good, look down, see if you can see your toes in front of your knees. Good, and then fold forwards, Uttanasana. Breathe in, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Step the left foot back, turn the left toes to the left, keep the right knee bent, come up to warrior two. Strong warrior two. So your gaze, your focus is along the front fingertips. Keep the arms strong and level. Keep your shoulders in line with your hips. And try and have your front heel in line with your either back heel or back arch, if that feels okay in your hips. And then trying to get this thigh parallel. Take a moment to breathe. Inhale. Remember that Ujjayi breath if you're working with it. Exhale. Keep your legs as they are. And then take a peaceful warrior. Left hand down, right arm up. Keep pressing equally into the outside edge of the back foot as you are into the front foot. And come back to center. Nice. Straighten the front knee. Going to take triangle pose. Heel toe that back foot in. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Reach your right arm forwards with the palm turned up. So it's as though you're passing something on a plate to somebody. Reach and reach. When you can't reach anymore, that right hand comes down. You might want to use a block to bring that right hand onto. And then turn and open that top shoulder so it's in line with the bottom shoulder. And reach the left arm up. So two opposite lines of energy. Top hand reaching, bottom hand stretching down. but both sides of the waist trying to stay equally long. Press into the outside edge of the back foot and the front big toe. Good, everyone. And then inhale, come back up to center. Do a pause here, bend into that front knee, and we're going to find a side angle. So if you've got the block there already, it might be nice to bring your hand to it. If not, perhaps bring your elbow to the knee, palm face up. Bring that arm all the way up, the left arm all the way up and over, and then we're going to take 3 circles. So follow the hand with your gaze, keep the arms straight, think about moving from the shoulder, and all the way down. Breathing in as you come up. Keep pressing into the back foot, try not to lean all your weight into the front. And when you've taken 3, change directions. Good, so just feeling how this feels in the shoulder joint. Get that rotator cuff, giving a little bit of movement here. Nice, and then reach up. And come all the way up to standing. Good, straighten the front knee. Bring the block to the middle and turn the toes to face the side of the mat. We're going to come into a forward fold now. So reach the arms out wide to start with, palms face up. And then bring the hands onto your hips. Roll the fronts of the shoulders back, elbows hug in. So nice and wide in the collarbones. Exhaling, lead with your chin and hinge from your hips. So you should have a nice straight back like this. And then reach forwards and hold on to the block. Move the block forwards and let your head sink between your shoulders. Good, so have a nice variation. So I like this because it stretches into the upper shoulders. Loosening off any tension there. Inhaling. And exhale. Yeah, next breath in, come up halfway. Hands come onto your hips, so hug the belly in all the way up. And then just turn your left toe to the back of the mat. And bend into that left knee, come into warrior 2. So again, your gaze, your drishti is along the front fingertips, the left fingertips now. Press into the outside edge of the back foot, the front big toe. Hug the belly in lightly. 1 breath in. And 1 breath out. Take a peaceful warrior. Right hand down, left arm up. Keep that bend in the front knee. You might notice you come out of it a little bit when you do this. Just notice and see if you can keep the strength there. Good, stretch into the side body. Nice, everyone. And then come back to center. Straighten the front knee. And then heel toe that back foot in a little bit. I'm going to use the block again as I used it on the other side for triangle pose. So right hand on your hip. Right hip goes backwards. Left arm reaches forwards with the palm up. So just reach and reach and reach. Find that length first. Well, you can't stretch any further forward. That left hand comes down wherever it lands. And then open the right shoulder so it's in line with the left. Reach that top arm up. 2 opposite lines of energy. Right fingertips stretching up, left hand stretching down. Opposite lines of energy in your feet. Pressing down into the back foot equally as the front. And turning and opening, looking up if your neck allows. 1 more breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Come all the way up. Bend that left knee. And then find side ankle. So hand onto the block again or elbow onto the knee. And then reach that right arm up and take those circles. So straight arms. Reaching all the way up. And exhale. Here's my little lovely dog. Hello, Storm. Inhale up. And exhale down. Hopefully she'll be nice and calm. 1 more. She's just woken up from a nap. And then change direction. And reaching up. And back, working into that rotator cuff. All the way. Feels so good. Good. Yeah, that's a nice place to be, isn't it? At my feet. And then come back up. And then all the way up to standing. Turn the toes to face the front. Good. This time you don't need your block. Bring your hands behind you and interlace the hands. So you're holding on to the hands, pulling them away from you. Yeah, all right then, I'll just move here. Good, and then you're going to hinge from your hips, lead with your chin, come forwards into a fold. Crown of the head reaching down, arms reaching back. Just pause for a few breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. And inhale and exhale. Next breath, release your hands, come up halfway. So keep that belly hugging in, strengthen through the spine and the core. Hold on to your hips all the way up to standing, and then simply turn your right toes to face the front of the mat. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Let's come down towards the floor now. Exhale, fold forwards, Uttanasana. Breathe in, halfway lift. And exhale, hands down, step back to a plank. Good, breathe in your plank. Remember, you can bring your knees down. And then bring your knees down, lower all the way down towards the floor. Come into that Cobra again, hug the elbows back and in, reach up. And then exhale, lower down. Bring your knees a little bit wider apart, bend the knees, feet together. Let's take that swan. Inhale, keep the pubic bone pressing down, maybe looking up. And exhale, lower down. Good, and then press back. Finding a child's pose. Sorry, Storm, am I on your mat? Coming into that child's pose. Forehead towards the floor. Take a moment, just breathe, settle into your breath. Good, okay, come back into that tabletop position now. And then sit back onto your heels. All right, so from your heels, we're going to do some more with your strap. So you might not need your strap for this. We're going to take what's called Gonokasana arms, cow face arms. So just sitting on your heels, if this feels comfortable, you might want to sit on a block or two if that feels more comfortable for your knees. Yes, I know some people have knee issues, so being high on blocks is sometimes more preferable. So reach that right arm up. Bend the right arm so that as though you're trying to bring your fingertips between your shoulder blades. And then take your left arm and just lift it up and help yourself to wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. Try not to let your head come forwards when you're doing this. You know, often we struggle to get our hand there, so our head neck's bent. Try and keep your head up, doesn't matter if it's less. Can I have that, please? And then reach your left arm round, and if you can grab hold of the fingers, that's great. If not, grab hold of the strap. Just hold this, hug your low belly in and breathe. Inhale, and exhale. Let the shoulders soften. Inhale, and exhale. One more here, breathe in. And breathe out. Release the strap. You just roll the shoulders a few times, and then we'll take the other side straight away. So reach the left arm up, bend the left elbow, and hold on to that sort of outside just to help that fingertips behind. Remember, try not to let the force of your elbow behind you force your head forwards. Keep your head up long. And then bring the right arm out, turn the palm behind you. And then wiggle the fingers up, maybe holding onto the strap, or if you can reach your fingertips, that's good too. Just notice you're externally rotating one shoulder, internally the other. And just breathe with it. Breathing in and breathing out. So working with a bit of gratitude today. Thinking ahead to your day if you're in the morning, or if you're in the evening doing this, thinking behind to what's gone on. And just give yourself a moment to think of maybe 3 things in your day today which you're grateful for. Sometimes we take things for granted. I recently lost my phone, as most of you know. So I'm grateful for my phone. I'm grateful for my puppy. And I'm grateful for the sunshine. So just naming maybe 3 things to yourself. And then relax your arms, roll the shoulders back and down. Good. Okay, and we're going to come into one little back bend. So come to standing on your knees, camel pose. Bring your hands so that they're at your low back, your sacrum. This prevents you from dumping all the back bend into your low back, which is what we tend to do. So you're lengthening, you're giving a little bit of light pressure down. Hug the elbows in, shoulder heads back and shoulder blades towards each other. Keep the knees hip width apart, and you can tuck your toes if you like. Then start to lift up through the sternum, maybe turning your gaze towards the ceiling, sending the hips forward so that they stay in line with your knees. You're not leaning back with your hips. And then maybe looking up, if you can, and you've got space, reaching back for your heels. Lifting up. If it doesn't feel good on your neck to look up, which for many of us it doesn't, just look forwards, that's fine. And if you can't grab a hold without really hurting yourself, stay here, this is fine. Take 2 more breaths here. Breathe in for 1, lift the sternum up. So think of it as front body opening rather than back bending. 1 more breath, breathe in. And exhale. Come back to center. Protect your low spine if your arms are back. Engage your core and sit back onto your heels. Palms face up. Just close your eyes a moment. Just notice any feelings that have come up or any heart rates that's gone up a little bit. Camel pose. All right. And then slowly from here, we're just going to lie down. So sit onto one side or the other, or just bring your legs out in front. Straighten one leg, bend the other knee, and lower down onto your back. All right, keep hugging that knee in. So I've got the right knee, so if you're hugging the right knee in, your left leg's out straight. It doesn't matter if you've done the other side first. And then we're going to take a nice twist, so holding onto the outside of that knee with the opposite hand. So it's my left hand holding my right knee. I'm going to bring the knee across my body and then reach my right arm in the opposite direction for a twist. Breathing in, just finding a nice sort of relaxed twist. Try and make that right shoulder heavy. And breathing out. And then come back to center. Excuse me, Stormy. And then hug both knees in. Uttanasana. So this is a loving squeeze. You might want to wrap your forearms around just below your knees. And then let's change sides. So straighten that right leg. Excuse me, my darling. Bend the left knee in, or whichever other knee you did. And then hold on to the outside of that knee. Stretch out the opposite arm. And pull the knee across, finding a nice twist. Simple twist. Let your breath just be soft and natural. If you've been working with an Ujjayi breath, victorious breath, just let it flow in and out on its own. Let your body breathe itself. And then bring the knees back up to center again. Hug both knees in. Wrap the forearms around. And then last pose, happy baby. Reach the feet up to the ceiling as though you're standing on the ceiling, and you can hold on to the outsides of the feet or bring your hands onto the insides if it's more accessible. And just simply pull the knees towards your armpits. And then maybe play with it, perhaps coming up on, lifting your head up, finding a bit of roundness, maybe lengthening the spine down, perhaps rocking side to side, or maybe straightening one knee, straightening the other. Just give yourself a few moments. This is such a nice pose. I know it's not the most glamorous one, but it feels good, doesn't it? So, just working into this. Good. Reconnect with what you feel grateful for, and then have a thought in your mind, maybe one word about how you'd like your day to feel. So it's not making a list, to-do list, it's having that sensation of how do I want to feel today. So that might mean peaceful, calm, productive, joyous, happy, fun, whatever it is, just sort of kind of name that how you'd like it. And even if it doesn't go exactly to plan, it's all about how we view things, isn't it? Our perspective rather than what actually happens. So having that sort of idea of how you'd like to feel. Nice. And then relax your neck, legs, hug them in one more time. Take a breath in, bring your head up towards your knees. Open your mouth, sigh it out. And then let your legs come out long, arms by the side. And rest into your Shavasana. Maybe take a moment to get shoulders relaxed. hips up. Even if you only spend a minute here, it's really well worth it. Keeping yourself quiet at the beginning of the day, when there's nothing to do and nowhere to be, while you're awake, but you're rested. And then please stay here longer if you want to. When you're ready to come up, you're going to slowly start to move your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, maybe head, hugging the knees in, and rolling over onto either side, just to pause in this comfortable fetal position. And then pressing up to a comfortable seat. As I said, if you want to stay, you can stay. And just pause and notice how it feels to be in your body. Thank you for practicing with me. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.